everybody. I'm Johnny Dady along with Mike Zambelli, all set to bring you Colonial League basketball from Nazareth High School. Tonight, the Blue Eagles, coached by Jim Roth, entertaining the Spartans from Southern Lehigh. My guest tonight, Jim Roth, the head coach here at Nazareth High School. Jim, welcome to Super 2. You're in your first year as head coach after 2 years as assistant to Rod Fogel here. What is the big difference and change for you from being assistant to a head coach?
Well, I think there's a lot more pressure. It's hard to be the head coach, I think, as far as getting the kids up all the time and going to practice. As an assistant coach, you can go to practice and coach and go home and not really worry about all the other headaches. As a head coach, it's kind of tough sometimes.
You got to worry about them even being dressed correctly, right?
Right, you're right, exactly.
Now, you are familiar with the players, being here 2 years as an assistant. Now, is there any big change in the offensive and defensive patterns that we'll be seeing tonight?
Well, I think as far as offensively, we're trying to push the ball inside more so than last year. Last year we had Jason McFarland. We had David Wickman, who could shoot the ball from 15, 16, 17 feet. This year we're a bigger team, and we're looking to push the ball inside.
Coach, last year Nazareth was 4-4 in the first half. This year you are 3-0 at this particular point. You're meeting a team tonight, the defending champion Spartans, who are 0-4 and only 1-9 overall. Does that make a difference for you or your kids?
Oh, not at all. Southern Lehigh is a very good team. They've lost to Notre Dame by 4, Caddy by 6, and Penardo by 6, and they can play with anybody. They're 1-9. They're not a 1-9 team.
You have a big ball game coming up Tuesday night with Salisbury over at Salisbury, which could determine a first-half champion. Are your kids possibly looking forward to that one and going by tonight?
I don't think so. We talked to them last night. We talked to them in the locker room tonight. They know tonight's a big game. They have to win tonight before they get to Tuesday.
As you said, they're a better ball club than their 1-9 record. You have 2 starters returning from last year's fine ball club in Dobroda and also Droznak.
Right. And none of our first 11 haven't played varsity basketball. Those kids played either JVs last or played freshmen. So they're making a big jump up, and they've played hard. They played good defense and really worked at it. So we're happy with the outcome right now.
There's only one big difference. This school and some of the other schools, tradition here at Nazareth.
It's always been a great program from the Barry Boyer days and Nick Droznak. And teams have always won playing good defense and rebounding, and we're trying to uphold that tradition.
Jim, thanks for dropping by. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Jim Roth, first year's head coach here at Nazareth High School. And he was an assistant here, Mike, for 2 years, so he knows the people coming in. So the transition shouldn't be bad.
No, it really wasn't. And as his proof is with their record, 3-0 in the Colonial League. And one thing that is certainly the same, John, is that Nazareth plays a heck of a defense. They're only giving up 44.7 points a game, and that's something that they've done throughout the last 4 or 5 years.
And another thing Jim Roth has going for him, being a head coach in his first year, he has a principal, Vic Lesky, who's a sports-minded man, a former assistant coach at Easton High School. He was also, I believe, the baseball coach here at Nazareth High School. He has a fine athletic director in Dale Johnson. These people get a lot of support here at Nazareth High School, where maybe some other schools they don't get it.
That's always helpful, John. When you have help through your administrators and the people that you're working with and scheduling practices and those kind of things, to make those transitions smoother, it's always helpful, and it takes a little bit of the worry out of. I heard you ask him what's the difference between being a head coach and an assistant coach, and certainly the organization and the cooperation with those other people makes that job a lot easier.
Okay, we'll take a little trip down memory lane and then have the opening tap-off for you in just a moment.
Foreman, Cooney, heavyweight sluggers that are back in business. A former world champion and winner of 19 straight fights versus a fighting Irishman.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a dream fight.
The preacher, Big George Foreman.
I'm really excited about fighting George Foreman.
The puncher, Jerry Cooney.
So what would happen if Smoking Joe Frazier would fight Iron Mike Tyson or George Foreman and Sonny Liston? But these dreams can never come true. This time you'll get a chance to see a dream fight. Jerry Cooney, George Foreman.
I'm taking this fight very seriously, and I'm not here for the money. I'm here to show that George Foreman does not belong in the ring with me.
January 15th, see 2 of the hardest hitters in heavyweight history. To order this pay-per-view event, call your cable system.
Sunday afternoon, January 21 at 4 p.m. Eastern. 30 World Wrestling Federation superstars are in one match. Where it's every man for himself. There are no allies, only enemies. This year, kick the new year off with a Rumble, the Royal Rumble, where it's friend versus friend, foe versus foe. Each wrestler will be thrown over the top rope, eliminated, until finally one man stands alone as a victor. Don't miss the Royal Rumble, January 21 at 4 p.m. Eastern. Call your local cable system now for details.
You're watching Service Electric Cable TV's Super 2, your leader in cable television, serving the greater Allentown, Bethlehem area.
Is on Service Electric Cable TV.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup now. First of all, for the visiting Spartans from Southern Lehigh, we have number 21, Brian Snyder, 5'9" junior. Number 23, Eric Church, a 5'10" senior. Number 35, Kevin Barnes, a 5'9" senior. Mike Zellner, number 45, a 6-foot senior. And rounding out the starting five is Jason Mack, who is a junior who stands 6'2". Bob Schaefer, in his second year as head coach. And here come the Blue Eagles. Number 34, Steve Gordon, a 6-foot sophomore. Number 24, Derek Karras, a 5'9" senior. Number 42, Nick Droznak, a 6'2" junior. Number 44, Joe DeBroda, a 6'3" senior. Rounding out the starting five is Joe Arndt, a junior who stands 6'3". Jim Roth in his first year as head coach. The year 1988, and the game was in first half play, was scheduled for Friday night, January 6th. It was postponed because of snow and rescheduled for Saturday night, January 7th. Southern Lehigh won that game in convincing fashion, 80-59. More about that later, but right now, our national anthem. The Spartans, getting back to our little trip down memory lane, went on to win a first half title, going unbeaten in 8 league games. And the title was the Spartans' first in 19 years. Nazareth wound up 4-4. The second game around Tuesday, February 7th, Nazareth avenged that first half loss by knocking the Spartans from the ranks of the league unbeaten by a 59-55 score. Nazareth's only loss in second half play was a 51-50 setback at the hands of Bangor. And then suddenly it was back on Thursday, February 23rd, 1989, that we had the showdown matchup over at Whitehall. The Spartans defeated Nazareth 49-48 in the special playoff to win the Colonial League championship outright. All right, we're ready to go. John Mitchell, the official tonight, along with Dave Bondel, and we're ready to start Colonial League action from Nazareth High School, the home of the Blue Eagles. Preliminary game tonight, won by Nazareth 47-37, and the Spartans controlled attack.
Watch opening defensively now for Southern Lehigh in blue. That's a zone defense, and that is uncustomary for them. Usually they are straight man for man. So we're seeing Coach Schaefer making some adjustments here, trying to turn things around. Here we go in the system.
Pass out. Rebounded by the Spartans. Traveling uniform, dark uniforms. This is Brian Snyder. Snyder gets it underneath to Eric Church, and Church puts Southern Lehigh up on the board 2-0.
Full court 2-2-1 pressure by Southern Lehigh. So a little bit of a change here coming into the game. 1-9 coming in. They certainly do not play like a 1-9 team.
Joe DeBroda in the deep right corner gets it back out. This is Steve Gordon, only a sophomore, 6 feet tall. Nazareth 3-0 in league play. They are 7-1 overall. Southern Lehigh 0-4 in the league, and they are 1-9 overall. Joe DeBroda ties up the ball game for Nazareth 2-2.
Good recognition and good patience by Nazareth in their half-court offense, moving the ball around. They're not that good of a perimeter shooting team.
Ironically, Mike Zellner, Southern Lehigh's only returning starter, took individual scoring honors for the night with 22 points in that playoff game. Jason McFarland graduated now was high for Nazareth with 12. Joe DeBroda, a starter last year, backed him up with 11. Nick Droznak had 9. Southern Lehigh graduated 4 starters from last year's Colonial League championship team. They were Scott Baker, Doug Helsel, Steve Barnes, and Mike Hetherington. Now, the only veteran returning is Mike Zellner. He's a 6-foot senior. However, the Spartans have 8 men back that were on the squad a year ago. Nazareth has 5 players back from last year's varsity squad, with DeBroda and Droznak as the only starters. Shot is up by Zellner, not good.
Nice board work by number 51, Jason Mack. One of the real concerns for Southern Lehigh this year has been the lack of a center and getting beat defensively and offensively off the boards. That's one of the keys for Southern Lehigh to turning this season around, get better boards offensively and defensively.
Personal foul against Joe DeBroda, first foul in the ball game. And going to the charity stripe is Kevin Barnes, a 5'9" senior.
See the penetration there by number 35 for Southern Lehigh. Kevin Barnes drawing the personal foul against DeBroda.
Score remains 2-2.
Kevin Barnes is a member of the District 11 champion soccer team. He's an all-state soccer player. First team, quite an all-around athlete, 5'9" senior, averaging 4 points a game.
And he breaks the tie, and the Spartans go up 3-2. Look out. Turnover. Pass near the baseline. Ricocheted off the official, Dave Bundle. And the ball is awarded to the Spartans. Bob Schaefer, in his second year as head coach. Boy, he could have been the mayor. He could have been anything in Southern Lehigh last year. His team was 23-5 overall. Eric Church with his second field goal for the Spartans makes it a 5-2 ball game. Nazareth up front. Turnaround shot by Karras is not good. Rebounded. Double fake pump follow-up by Nick Droznak. And we have a 5-4 ball game.
Example of what I was talking about. Droznak scoring on a second shot opportunity. Excellent job of crashing the boards.
Shot up by Snyder, not good. Rebounded by Nazareth.
Say another real interesting difference between these two clubs. In the day and age of the three-point field goal, Southern Lehigh is connected on 34 three-pointers on the year. Nazareth has not connected on one.
Droznak with a second field goal. And Nazareth goes ahead again, this time 6-5. Last year, in first half play, Nazareth was 4-4. They were 7-1 in the second half and lost a special playoff game. So in a league, they were 11-6 and overall 14-12. Mike Zellner picks up his first deuce for Southern Lehigh, and the Spartans go ahead 7-6 and take advantage of a turnover. Barnes inside the key, gets it out to Snyder. Eric Church high, bingo! Is that for 3? No, 2. 2-pointer. Third field goal, 6 points for Church. 9-6. Southern Lehigh. Baseline shot is up and in. And this one by Derek Karras. The 5'9" senior picks up this first field goal. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Action is fast and furious early in this basketball game.
I was just going to say the same thing, John. You took the words right out of my mouth. Excellent job by Nazareth in breaking that full course pressure and in dishing off to the right side for an easy jumper for the toe.
All right, a personal foul against Steve Gordon, his first. It's the second team foul. 9-8, Southern Lehigh leading. Boy, what a year they had. 23-5. Rebounded by DeBroda. Joe quickly up to Derek Karras. Over to Gordon. This is Gordon outside the key on the right-hand side baseline. Harris underneath the shot, baseline, not good by DeBroda. Followed up by Joe Arndt, not good. Followed up by DeBroda. And that's DeBroda's second field goal. And the Blue Eagles go ahead 10-9.
And just what we had talked about, now that's a third shot opportunity that Nazareth cashes in on. Southern Lehigh must do a better job of sealing or boxing the defense away from the glass.
Boy, Arndt is big, isn't he? One of the few football players on the squad. Well, we just have a million people walking in front of us here, and it's very difficult to see what's going on. Gordon with the ball, gets it out to Karras, throws it up. Not good. Rebound. Follow-up shot by Rosnack. And that's Nick's third field goal, and it's a 12-9 lead for Nazareth.
The last three possessions by Nazareth now, the first shot's not converted, but follow-up baskets have been the difference.
Arndt, Joe only a junior, 6'3", gets it over to Gordon. Gordon inside the key. Back to Gordon.
Arndt was an all-league defensive tackle, John, for the Nazareth. Well, they were the runners-up in the Colonial League battle, and then they were District 11 champs.
Gordon, there's a turnover. And here comes Kevin Barnes, but he double-dribbled it, and they turn it right back to Nazareth. Nazareth's only lost this season, 51-44 to Stroudsburg. Stroudsburg only has one loss on the year. Southern Lehigh's only win, 57-47 to Antietam. Antietam, Caress. Underneath, Arndt has it. Joe Arndt picks up his first deuce. And it's a 14-9 ball game, and the biggest spread of the ball game. The advantage belongs to Nazareth.
Arndt shows you a nice touch for a big man inside, about a 5-foot jumper off that left baseline.
Jason Mack. His grandfather is the mayor of Coopersburg. Interception by Gordon. Gordon gets it back out to DeBroda. Arndt underneath, off the glass and in, and he's fouled. Joe Arndt with his second field goal, and he's fouled on a play. And boy, I can see why this team is 3-0 and 7-1.
Excellent penetration, nice dish by Derek Caress there. Over to Arndt. Arndt makes an excellent catch. Keep in mind now, that's not the tight end on the football team. He's a defensive tackle. Excellent catch of the ball and a good move to the basket to draw the personal foul.
Grosnack out of the lineup. Shot is up and good by Arndt, and that's his 5th point in the ball game. The personal foul was on Eric Church. Arndt out of the lineup, being replaced by Greg Topping, only a sophomore, who stands at 6'2". Barnes over to Snyder. Snyder to Zellner. Mack pops it up, not good. Rebounded by DeBroda. DeBroda gets it over to Gordon, and Gordon, working very deliberately, crosses that timeline. Nazareth
using its size now to its advantage, limiting Southern Lehigh to one shot down the floor the last 4 possessions.
17-9, Nazareth leading. We'll be following Nazareth next week, Tuesday night, over to Salisbury, when they'll meet Bill Pollock's Falcons. One's beaten on the season, 10-1 record. They were surprised by Palmerton on Wednesday night. Karras underneath DeBroda, off the glass, not good. DeBroda lost the rebound, and it's picked up by Barnes of Southern Lehigh. Down the lane, hands off the last minute to Mack, but there's a whistle and a foul.
Nazareth got the shot they wanted offensively, but a good defensive job. Barnes in transition and draws the personal foul.
Foul against Steve Gordon, and that's second one for the 6-foot sophomore, and he leaves the lineup. He's being replaced by Ryan Cryan, a 5'9 junior. Inbound pass to Barnes. Eric Church. Snyder up high for 3. He got it. Got a bullseye. Brian Snyder, 5'9 junior, 17-12. Nazareth leading.
Snyder's very capable of hitting that as we end the first quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter. Nazareth 17, Southern Lehigh 12. We'll be right back.
heavyweight sluggers that are back in business. A former world champion and winner of 19 straight fights versus a fighting Irishman. The preacher, Big George Foreman. And the puncher, Jerry Cooney. January 15th, see two of the hardest hitters in heavyweight history. To order this pay-per-view event, call your cable system.
Welder Training and Testing Institute is your one-stop welder training shop. We offer training programs to meet your personal or industrial needs. From customized to nationally accredited courses, there are over 140 occupations which use welding. Over 96% of WTTI students are placed in jobs starting at $8 to $14 an hour. Federal and state financial aid programs are available. Start your welding career today. Call Welder Training and Testing Institute, 1-800-223-WTTI.
Guaranteed Brakes, another Car Care Plus service of ABE Car Care Center.
We're proud to offer a lifetime warranty on the mighty brakes we sell.
That's right. We may be locally owned and operated, but we can now offer a nationwide brake warranty on all American cars.
Stop by for a free brake inspection now.
Car Care Plus means quality brakes, mufflers, and shocks, state and emission inspections. Car Care Plus only at ABE Car Care Centers.
You're watching Service Electric Cable TV's Super 2. Your leader in cable television, serving the greater Allentown, Bethlehem area.
Is on Service Electric Cable TV.
All right, don't miss out. Sunday, January 7th, live, right here on the Super 2. It's the Rose Bowl Junior Scholarship Bowling Tournament. Join Dan Mowdy and Jim Trupka as the best young bowlers in the Valley roll for college scholarship money. Another Service Electric exclusive, Sunday at 1 p.m.
Coach Jim Roth there in your picture. He's flanked by assistant Rich Pickert.
Ken Schifford also on his staff. Mr. John Jenkins, the superintendent of schools. Victor Lesky, the principal. Field goal up there by Mike Zellner, and that's his second, and we have a 17-14 ball game. Derek Harris with the ball outside the key. Hooks around the key, gets it over to Crine. In the low post, a shot up there, not good. Rebounded by the Spartans. And here comes Southern Lehigh. Brian Snyder underneath Church, all alone, and got it. That's the fourth field goal for Eric Church, and it's 17-16.
Excellent effort by Snyder as he drew the defense to him and it allowed Church to run the right lane on that fast break, and an easy 2 points for Southern Lehigh.
So here in the first 45 seconds of the second quarter, Southern Lehigh picked up 4 points. Nazareth still scoreless. DeBroda with the ball, gets it back out to Klein. Klein, right corner, over to Karras. DeBroda.
Southern Lehigh still playing that 2-3 zone with the 3 playing back awful flat to try and get some rebounding inside.
Looks like a parade here.
Yeah, it sure does.
17-16, Nazareth leading. Inbounds pass to DeBroda. DeBroda gets it over to Karras. Almost a steal by Brett Sachs, a 5'10 junior who just came into the lineup for Southern Lehigh.
Nice overplay by Sachs out in front of that 2-3 zone. There you see number 13 right there. Just unable to control the basketball once he got a hand on it, and Nazareth maintains possession.
Karras with the ball over to Crine. Back to Karras. Groznak. Karras fakes right, goes left, almost threw that one away. DeBroda off the glass. No, but he is fouled. There's DeBroda, number 44.
Boy, outstanding work by Nazareth in that half-court offense. Let's watch the nice dish inside. You see a good pass by Droznak to DeBroda there, and then just teasingly that ball's going to fall off the side.
The foul against Leo Ruffing, a 5'11 senior, just came into the Southern Lehigh lineup. Droznak, rather DeBroda on the free throw line. Joe, I saw his dad here earlier, 6'3 senior.
He's averaging 10 points a game while pulling down 8 rebounds. His high on the season was 20 against Lehighton.
And he missed a pair here. He has 2 field goals on the night, 17-16. Nazareth by 1.
One of the things that Jim Roth talked about in our pregame was the lack of consistency from that free throw line. They're shooting just about 60%.
Leo Ruffing put Southern Lehigh ahead with his first field goal, 18-17. Trying over to Karras. Grosnock, Karras. Ball deflected, knocked out of bounds, and the Blue Eagles will have it. Bob Schaefer, second year as head coach. Kurt Zellner, his assistant, along with Matt Stevens. Dr. Michael Green, the superintendent of schools at Southern Lehigh. George Hooper, the principal. Don Herrickle, the new AD, who replaced the retiring Jack Bergraff. We wish Jack the best. He was a great guy to work with. An interception by Mike Yerkes. Up. Missed it. Went for the iron that time. Missed an easy keeper.
The first miss for Southern Lehigh in this quarter. You're right, John. He went straight onto the basket rather than going to the side and maybe using that banking board. But it appeared that the ball slipped out of his hand.
Turnover here.
That's the 5th Nazareth turnover of the game. Southern Lehigh has committed 2 shooting percentages in the first quarter. Nazareth was 8 of 15 for 53%. Southern Lehigh was 6 of 13 for 46%.
And we have the first timeout in the ball game. You can charge this one to Southern Lehigh. Bob Schaefer has on his squad of 14, 6 seniors and 8 juniors. Nazareth, a young squad, only 3 seniors, 3 juniors, 4 sophomores, and 1 freshman. John Mitchell, Dave Bundle, the officials assigned to work tonight's ball game here at Nazareth High School. Don't forget, Tuesday night at 9:30, you'll be able to watch the videotape replay of the Nazareth at Salisbury ball game, and boy, that should be a dandy. So you can catch news, Super News weeknights at 6:30 and 9 right here on the Super 2. This is the 20th year of Super 2 News, the Lehigh Valley's first and longest running local news program. Super News weeknights at 6:30 and 9 only on the Super 2.
John, you know, you look at Southern Lehigh being 0-4 in the league. Their losses to Catasauqua by 6, Wilson by 1, Saucon Valley by 7, and Penn Argyl by 6. Now, it's a little far-fetched to say that they could be 4-0, but they were certainly in all 4 of those games to be an 0-4 team.
Interesting to note that Nazareth is averaging a 53.2 points a ball game while giving the opposition 44.7. The field goal by Brett Sachs, and it's 20-17. Southern Lehigh up by 3. Nazareth opponents averaging just 44.7 points a ball game. Southern Lehigh averaging 53.5 points a ball game, but they have been given up 61.3. And here comes Yerkes. Good defensive play by DeBroda. Joe bats that one out of bounds. And Southern Lehigh will have it underneath their own basket.
Outstanding effort by DeBroda, hustling back. The 6'3" senior got that block on there to prevent the
Yerkes
toe.
baseline. No, not good. Rebounded by Nazareth.
6 turnovers now against Nazareth. Southern Lehigh, though, not able to convert on that last fast break.
Well, we now have the freshman in the lineup for Nazareth, and that's Ed Dulac, 5'11". Rebound by Brett Sachs, and there's a whistle, there's a foul, and DeBroda could have been caught going over the top. And that's Joe's second personal foul.
I think maybe a little frustration now setting in on Nazareth here offensively. I mentioned how they're not a real great perimeter shooting team. You see DeBroda coming over the top there, called for the personal foul. It was Jim Roth you got a glimpse of there. Nazareth now 0 for 4 in the second quarter. They've yet to record a point, and we're halfway through the second quarter.
Why does the Colonial League substitute a lot more freely than East Penn League?
Why?
Yeah.
Probably because the pace is a lot greater than the East Penn Conference is usually. Game in and game out.
Barnes. Eric Church lets it fly. No, not good. Rebounded by Ruffing. Back out to Church over to Brian Snyder. This is Eric Church. Snyder for 3. Not good. Ball batted down out of bounds. Look out. We almost got it here.
Southern Lehigh doing an extremely good job now of keeping the ball alive on the offensive boards. Keep in mind, they are outmanned and they are undersized in there, but just getting a hand on the ball and enough to keep the ball in their possession.
Church gets it over to Kevin Barnes. Zellner in the deep right corner. Throws it up underneath the roughing. Shot not good. Rebounded by Nazareth. Blue Eagles trailing in the ball game 20-17.
2-3 zone being employed by Nazareth there. I'm a little surprised at that. Usually when you go up against a good shooting team, you might match up against them man for man, but thus far it's been seeming to work for Nazareth.
Parade is starting, and we're not even at the halftime break yet. We have 2 minutes and 59 seconds.
Sure, we'll see Nazareth come out of that zone defense if Southern Lehigh starts to connect on those long-range three-pointers.
Almost a turnover. Ed Dulac is the freshman, 5'11" in the lineup for Nazareth. He wears number 20, has the ball. Derek gets in the deep right corner, and there's the shot up by Derek Harris, rebounded by Southern Lehigh.
0 for 5 now for Nazareth, shooting from the floor.
Whoa, look out. Barnes really skied that one out of bounds.
Southern Lehigh likes to get out and run. They like to get pressure on you defensively and then get into the break. That was a little bit of a poor decision there, and I'm sure they'd like to have that pass back.
Harris checks off, gets it back out to Trenberg. Shot is up, not good, but there's a whistle and a foul. Foul against Kevin Barnes of Southern Lehigh, his first. And only the 13th foul against the Spartans. So it's an unshooting, and Ed Dulac, the freshman, will inbound. Gets it out to Trenberg. Jeff hooks around the key. Dulac over Droznak. Right side to Broder, lets it go and hits it. Joe DeBroda with his third field goal.
That is
20-19 ball game. Southern Lehigh leading and in possession.
The first field goal for Nazareth comes with 1:55 to play in the second quarter.
Church gets it out to Barnes. Zellner lets it go for 2, and he hits his third field goal of the night. And once again, the Spartans go up, this time 22-19.
Zellner's the team leading scorer, averaging 15 points a game. Second in three-point shooting with 10 on the year, and very capable of making and canning that jump shot.
Bobby Clark, the former head football coach. Joe Orange picks up his third field goal and 7 points, 22-21. Bobby Clark, the former head football coach of Southern Lehigh, who spent last year as an assistant over at Whitehall after spending a year or two at Emmaus as an assistant, is here taking his ball game in tonight. That guy never misses a sporting event, I'll tell you. Bobby is a great guy.
I'm sure he likes to watch the competition and enjoys it and loves to be around it, and I certainly cannot blame him for that.
Teachers down at Southern Lehigh. It's good to see teachers following, and I'm sure the kids notice that too. Southern Lehigh with the ball. They lead 22-21. This is Kevin Barnes, 5'9" senior, over to Brian Snyder. Zellner makes his move. No, right over the rim. Cleared everything that time. He was looking for a little contact foul. The officials just shake their head and say,
See what the difference is in the zone here. Nazareth playing a 2-3 zone also, but they're playing there's a lot higher than what Southern Lehigh is on the other end. Watch how the back three men are all up near that circle up there at the top, and you'll notice when Southern Lehigh's in defense, those three people are back well another 2-3 feet from there.
They're going to go for one shot. We're down to 35 seconds, 22-21. Southern Lehigh leading. Barnes, Kevin, over to Snyder. Barnes, Eric Church, Snyder, Brian, the 5'9" junior.
Snyder's the man to watch. He scored 33 against Wilson, including 6 3-pointers.
That's really something, isn't it? And then you come up with a 1-9 record. It's unbelievable. 12 seconds and counting.
Well, the lack of that big man or a true center inside John, has really hurt Southern Lehigh this season.
Barnes. Zellner, Snyder lets it go. No, and that is the end of the first half. It is Southern Lehigh 22 and Nazareth 21. We'll be right back.
worn-out muffler causes poor gas mileage and performance.
Replace it with an original equipment design at ABE Car Care Center. ABE Car Care Center offers a complete line of Gerlich mufflers. They provide a written guarantee with every muffler they install.
Come in and ask for a free exhaust system check. There's no obligation.
We're proud of the work we do.
We want your car to be safe on the highway.
Car Care Plus means quality mufflers, brakes, shocks, and inspections. Only at ABE Car Care Centers. Welder Training and Testing Institute is your one-stop welder training shop. We offer training programs to meet your personal or industrial needs. From customized to nationally accredited courses, there are over 140 occupations which use welding. Over 96% of WTTI students are placed in jobs starting at $8 to $14 an hour. Federal and state financial aid programs are available. Start your welding career today. Call Welder Training and Testing Institute, 1-800-223-WTTI.
From the little leagues to the big leagues, for working out to lounging around, suit up with Russell Athletic, now available at Bethlehem Sporting Goods. Bethlehem Sporting Goods, a Russell Athletic team specialist, carries a large selection of Russell Athletic tees, shorts, and uniforms. Plus, Bethlehem Sporting Goods offers custom lettering, screening, and embroidering of group and team Russell Athletic wear. Come by today for Russell Athletic wear and all sporting goods needs at Bethlehem Sporting Goods, the team sport and trophy specialist.
Turn on Service Electric Cable TV. We were the first to lead the way. The pioneering spirit is still with us today. Channel after channel, we bring you more. More of what you want to see is on Service Electric Cable TV.
At the end of the first quarter, Nazareth led 17-12, but Southern Lehigh came roaring back in the second period. They outscored Nazareth 10-4 to take a 22-21 lead here at the halftime break. High score for Southern Lehigh in the first half was Eric Church with 4 field goals and 8 points. Brett Sachs had a field goal for 2. Brian Snyder had a bullseye for 3. Leo Ruffing a field goal for 2. Kevin Barnes 1 out of 2 fouls for a point. Mike Zellner 3 field goals for 6. So the line for Southern Lehigh, 10 field goals, including a 3-pointer, 1 out of 2 fouls for 22, 3 personal fouls against them.
Let's look at the stats for Southern Lehigh. 10 of 26 shooting for 38%, 1 of 2 for 50% from the free throw line. Committed 2 turnovers. Eric Church, the high man, with 8 points.
All right, the second half is underway. Nazareth high score with Joe Arndt with 3 field goals and a foul for 7 points. Joe DeBroda had 6. That shot was up and in by Derek Karras. 23-22 now. Nazareth goes ahead. Other scores for Nazareth. Karras had a field goal for 2. Droznak 3 field goals for 6. Joe DeBroda 3 field goals for 6. He missed 2 fouls. And a line for Nazareth, 10 field goals, 1 out of 3 fouls for their total of 21. They had only 4 personal fouls called against them. And here come the Blue Eagles. Baseline shot up there, not good by Gordon. Rebounded by the Spartans. Snyder has to check off, gets it cross court over there with Church, who pops it up, not good. Scramble for the ball, rebounded by Nazareth.
John, I think one of the important things that we're seeing here tonight is the defensive move by head coach Bob Schaefer of Southern Lehigh. It has really frustrated Nazareth offensively, realizing that they don't have a 3-pointer on the year, which is going to lead you to believe that they're not a real good perimeter shooting team. And thus far it has worked, although to start the second half here, Nazareth's now starting to connect.
Field goal by Nick Droznak, his 4th of the ball game, and Nazareth goes up 25-22.
It's 2 of 3 to start this second half.
There goes Snyder, lets it fly, not good. Scramble for the loose ball, knocked out of bounds and awarded to Nazareth backcourt. 25-22, Nazareth leading. Don't forget Tuesday night at 9:30 we'll have the headliner. It'll be...
First half Nazareth stats, 10 of 22, 45%. 1 of 3 from the free throw line, 33%. Committed 7 turnovers. Joe Arndt, their high man, with 7 points.
Double fake pump. Gonna go by Jeff Trenberth. The 5'10 senior picks up his first deuce of the night, and now Nazareth has a 5-point lead, 27-22. Tuesday night, 9:30 on Super 2. Immediately following the news, it'll be Nazareth at Salisbury, and that could determine a first-half champion, or at least go a long way in determining who will be the Colonial League first-half champion. Baseliner by Zellner, not good. And there's a whistle underneath, and there's a foul.
Southern Lehigh in a shooting slump here to start the half. 0 for 5, and they need to get something positive here offensively.
All right, the foul against Nick Drosnock, and that's his first in the ball game. Spartans trailing by 5, 27-22. Barnes gets it baseline underneath, and the ball knocked and lost by Jason Mack. By the way, I spoke to the mayor at the halftime break. Boy, he looks good. He's been down in Coopersburg a long, long time. Nazareth. Gordon has to check off and get it back out to Trenberth.
It's a good decision by Gordon, 6-foot sophomore. Not anything there on the break. He made a wise decision to pull it back outside and set up the offense.
Good call. Nick Drosnock stepped on a baseline right in front of John Mitchell. The official working this ball game.
Was an excellent call by Mitchell right along the baseline there, and the player looking with his head up didn't feel like he was out of bounds, but certainly wasn't a good call.
27-22. Nazareth leading in a ball game. Head body fake by Mack, pops it up and in, and Jason, the 6'2 junior, has his first field goal of the night. 27-24. Nazareth. Gordon outside the key, gets it on the right-hand side to Karras, back to Gordon. Gordon over to Drosnock. Gordon in the key, underneath the Trenberth, but he traveled with it. Turned it over.
Trenberth did an excellent job of running the baseline. Southern Lehigh pulled that zone out a little higher. I mentioned they were playing it flat in the first half. He got behind the defense, received a good pass, but with the head and shoulder fake, just committed the turnover and the travel.
Baseline shot not good. Rebounded by Snyder of the Spartans. Snyder gets it over to Kevin Barnes. Barnes to Snyder. Zellner. Barnes.
Defensive change now for Nazareth. They're in straight man for man. Good recognition by Southern Lehigh here, taking their time and working the ball.
Snyder goes baseline, and there's a whistle, and there's a foul. And this one could be on Derek Karras. And that's his first personal foul and the second team foul here in the third quarter.
Well, you like to see that as a head coach. Your team recognize a defensive change, that he doesn't have to use a timeout and sit down and explain it to you, that you realize it while it's happening on the floor.
Kevin Barnes lets it fly, not good. Hit the support up behind the glass bank board, and that automatically turns it over. Blue Eagles, almost a steal. Trenberth with the ball, has to check off.
Talking with Bob Schaefer before the game, he said his team has been in every game they've played thus far, with the exception of maybe one or two. The problem has been they have not played 4 quarters. They'll always have a quarter where they only score 2 or 4 points. Well, in this third quarter so far, they have just 1 field goal for 2 points.
Oh, good block. But they're calling body contact, and it'll be a foul. Brand X up there. Foul against Mike Zellner, and that's his first. The only returning starter for Southern Lehigh. And now Dean Carter, a 6-foot senior, coming into the lineup for Mike Zellner for Southern Lehigh. On a free throw line, Jeff Trenberth, 5'10" senior, there he is. Has 1 field goal tonight, picked it up here in his third period. Has 1 out of 1 from the foul line. 28-24 Nazareth. Rebounded by the Spartans, and they turned it over.
Church a little over anxious there, trying to get back out into the break. That is where Southern Lehigh has been most effective here this evening, but trying to force the issue there, commits the turnover.
And the ball bat out of bounds, and Southern Lehigh will get it. You mentioned about Bob Schaefer in his second year. Boy, he's a credit to that school as a coach.
Certainly is. I'll tell
Great
you.
PR man.
John, it was unbelievable when we came here. I was looking for him. He was sitting on the JV bench helping coaching down in that level there, and I went over, asked him if he gets paid double for tonight's work for coaching both games, but he's enthusiastic, and I'll tell you, he has not thrown the towel in on this season. He realizes that each half can be different, as was with Nazareth last year.
This has been a good competitive league over the years. Boy, last year, 16-1 in the league. And 23-5 overall.
Yeah, well,
their only loss to Nazareth.
That's amazing when you consider the competition. Let's watch Trenberth there on the offensive move to the basket, drawing the personal foul against number 41, Dean Carter.
Trenberth, 2 out of 3 from the foul line to go along with a field goal. 29-24. Oh, good effort on the part of Paris in getting that rebound.
But again, the missed free throws. Now, they were 33% in the first half and around 55 to 60% on the season. And a championship caliber team is going to have to shoot better free throws than that.
In the first half, the field goals were even. Each team had 10. Nazareth had 1 out of 3. Foul, field goal by DeBroda, his 4th. And Southern Lehigh had 1 out of 2. The only 1-point difference was that the Spartans had a 3-point play by Snyder. (31-24). Traveling. Call against Trenberth. Substitutions for Southern Lehigh. We have Brett Sachs coming back in. And we have a timeout. You can charge this one to the Spartans.
Well, let's take a look at the Colonial League standings now that we have a chance. We know Salisbury at 4-0, Nazareth at 3-0 right here. Catasauqua, Penn Argyl at 2-1. Saucon Valley and Wilson are at 2-2. Palisades is at 1-2, and Bangor and Southern Lehigh right here are at 0-4.
So I would like to remind all of our friends in the Emmaus area that they can catch all the local super sports games, local news, and regular programming on dial position 20 on Salmon's Cable in Emmaus. So tell a friend in Emmaus to tune in channel 20 for Super 2 sports and programs.
Elsewhere in the Colonial League tonight, Catasauqua is at Wilson. Palisades is at Saucon Valley, and Salisbury is taking on Penn Argyl at Penn Argyl.
There's an unleague game that is Bangor entertaining Pies at 10th. And boy, Bill Pencil sweating out this season. East Penn Conference action tonight. Liberty at Allen, Central Catholic at Emmaus, Easton at Duroff, Bethlehem Catholic at Parkland, Northampton at Whitehall, and Peaburg at Freedom.
Easton coming off that big win over Allen, 73-71 on Wednesday night, and understand that was quite an exciting basketball game to watch.
Well, it couldn't have been any more exciting than the one we had, Parkland at Liberty. As Pat Palmer popped up about a 15-footer at the buzzer to give Liberty a come-from-behind win.
Duroff and Central Catholic staged an exciting one also. There were a couple of 2 3-point games in East Penn League.
Baseline shot is up and in by Eric Church, and that's Eric's 5th field goal of the night. 31-26. Nazareth leading. Long pass up front to Karras. This is Trenberth, and it's a turnover as Mike Zellner got a mid inside, stole the ball, and then quickly got it over to Mike Yerkes. Baseline shot, Church not good, followed up. Church not good, but he is fouled.
Nazareth did an exceptional job of breaking the pressure. Southern Lehigh turned it up a notch, got the ball into the half court, and then made a sloppy pass. Just did not recognize and take the time to set up offensively, then turn the ball over.
Droznak charged with his 2nd personal foul. Hey, you want to go to the ball game tonight in Centennial League? Stroudsburg at Palmerton. Each team with only 1 loss on the season. Eric Church on the foul line for the first time tonight. 31-26. His team is trailing. Got it.
Church is averaging 10 points a game. His high was 25 against Catasauqua. Church is also a running back for the Spartan football team.
He has 11 tonight. And still 11. Nazareth comes up with a rebound. 1:15 remaining here in the 3rd period. We're at Nazareth Area High School. Trenberth. Almost a turnover, but Gordon saves, gets it back over to Trenberth. Gets it to DeBroda. Cross court pass to Karras. Elsewhere in the Centennial League, Notre Dame and Northern Lehigh, East Stroudsburg at Pocono Mountain, and Lehighton at Northwestern. And that rounds out the Scholastic action. Don't forget, you booster clubs, you want to get all your information to Al Bennick for the 29th. This is the 29th, the 30th annual Scholar Athlete Dinner coming up on January 29th. That's a Monday night. And that'll be over at Northampton Memorial Community Center. 39 seconds remaining in the third period here.
Judging from past banquets, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it snows. They always get a big snowstorm for that banquet, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I think it's the last 2 or 3 years that it's really been a tough drive, but always an exciting event.
Super 2 will be there to cover the banquet in its entirety. Personal foul against Brett Sachs, his first. Non-shooting foul, so Nazareth will inbounds with 33 seconds, and the clock starts running. Joe Arndt, the 6'3 junior, gets it up to DeBroda. Joe checks off his fouler. Saw him here tonight, talked to him earlier.
Another good job by Nazareth of handling the pressure. Southern Lehigh, a little bit different this half. 1-3-1, they're allowing the inlet pass and then trying to trap along the sidelines. Nazareth, great recognition in breaking the press, now into their half-court offense.
Karras gets it out to Gordon. Karras lets it fly, not good. Rebounded by the Spartans, and that's the end of the third quarter. It is Nazareth 31, Southern Lehigh 27. We'll be right back.
The World Wrestling Federation presents the Royal Rumble. Live Sunday afternoon, January 21 at 4 p.m. Eastern. 30 World Wrestling Federation superstars are in one match where it's every man for himself. There are no allies, only enemies. This year, kick the new year off with a Rumble, the Royal Rumble, where it's friend versus friend, foe versus foe. Each wrestler will be thrown over the top rope, eliminated, until finally one man stands alone as the victor. Plus, Hacksaw Jim Duggan takes on the Big Boss Man. Brutus the Barber Beefcake battles the Genius. A special submission match between Rugged Rodney Garvin and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Tag team action with the Bushwhackers against the Fabulous Rougeau Brothers and a special Brother Love with his guest Sapphire and sensational Queen Sherry. This year, kick the new year off with a Rumble, the Royal Rumble, January 21 at 4 p.m. Eastern, when it's every man for himself. Call your local cable system now for details.
Foreman, Cooney, heavyweight sluggers that are back in business. A former world champion and winner of 19 straight fights versus a fighting Irishman. The Preacher, Big George Foreman. And the Puncher, Jerry Cooney. January 15th, see two of the hardest hitters in heavyweight history. To order this pay-per-view event, call your cable system.
You're watching Service Electric Cable TV's Super 2. Your leader in cable television, serving the greater Allentown, Bethlehem area.
Is on Service Electric Cable TV.
Thursday night at 8 p.m., join Super 2 Scott Schaefer for Reporters Roundup, a live one-hour call-in program. Scott's guest will be Matt Kerr of WAEB Radio and Jeff Ward of the Bethlehem Globe-Time. They'll discuss and highlight news events and newsmakers they've been covering. Thursday at 8 p.m., Reporters Roundup on a Super 2. Don't miss it.
Shooting percentages third quarter, Nazareth 4 of 7, 57%. They committed 4 turnovers to bring their total to 11. Southern Lehigh 2 of 11 for just 18%, and they cannot afford to do that being a perimeter shooting team. They committed 3 turnovers to bring their game total to 5.
You know, they're talking about the new Patriot Basketball League. Hal Grossman, who was a former signer for the East Penn Conference for a couple of years, has a good shot at being the assigner for that Patriot League. Boy, that would be a big plus, huh? And a big plug boost for the Valley officials.
Sure would. He'd be a credit to it, too. He'd do an awfully good job.
Yes, he would. That field goal by Leo Ruffing, and that's his second, and we're 31-29. What a ball game this has been. Nazareth leading. Fourth quarter just underway from Nazareth Area High School. Joe DeBroda here in the corner. Gets it back out to Steve Gordon. Gordon only a sophomore. Very young Nazareth team.
Nazareth went back to a zone defense back on their defensive end, and now Southern Lehigh just bringing that middle man up a little bit, playing more of a 2-1-2.
Oh, Topping. And we have substitution for Nazareth. We have Nick Drosnock coming back in, replacing Greg Topping. Nazareth with the ball, touched last by the Spartans. Derek Harris with his third field goal to give Nazareth a little bit of breathing room, 33-29. Brett Sachs with the ball for the Spartans. Right-hand corner over to Church.
You got to look at the Nazareth zone 1-2-2.
Church. Bingo! Boy, that one came from another zip code area. But just inside the three-point mark perimeter. 33-31. Nazareth by 2. And Eagles with the ball. Pass intended for Joe Arndt, knocked down and out of bounds. And let's see who gets it. Nazareth.
It was a good look by Drosnock looking for the break, but good hustle back by Eric Church. He just kicked the ball in there, and Nazareth maintains possession.
Gordon to Arndt. Arndt missed it, but he's fouled. Pushing from behind. This foul will be charged to Mike Yerkes, the 5'9" junior. I mentioned about talking to Mayor Mack a little earlier. He said he watched our Liberty and Parkland game. He said, boy, what a ball game you guys had over there. He said, we sure did. Arndt
on the free throw line, averaging 13 points a game, pulling down 9 rebounds. He has scored in double figures in every contest for Nazareth this year, scoring between 10 and 16 points, his highs against Bangor and Lehigh. And that is certainly what you want out of your big man. He's just a steady, every-game performer.
Well, he had 7 points in the first half and just picked up his first point here in the second half of this ball game. Sachs gives it over to Zellner. He loses, and here come the Eagle. Derek Harris pops it. No, not good. Rebounded by Church of Southern Lehigh. Church bounce pass over to Ruffing. Lets it go high, and he hits it. Leo Ruffing with his third field goal. 34-33, Nazareth. 5:55 remaining here in the ball game.
We don't write Southern Lehigh off. They can score, and they can score quickly.
Almost a steal by Zellner. Gordon gets it to Broda. Joe hits his 5th field goal. 36-33. Nazareth by 3.
Outstanding bounce pass by Steve Gordon to set up to Broda, who hit a tough turnaround jumper.
Sachs can't get the shot away. Oh, good passing around. Baseline, Church, not good. Rebounded by Karras. Karras gets it over to Steve Gordon. Steve slows it up a little bit as he gets it over the timeline. 5:10 and running remaining in this ball game, and the Eagles are leading by 3.
Southern Lehigh got the shot they wanted offensively, just unable to convert. They did a good job of moving the ball around, passing, and breaking down the Nazareth defense.
Bill Pollock called me today. We were talking about his ball game with Palmer, and he said, Arndt shot not good. Rebounded by Gordon. Gordon goes up for 6-footer, and he hits it. First field goal of the night for Gordon, and the big one as he gives Nazareth the 5-point lead. He said he thought something was funny. His team came out, and in their pre-game practice, he said they looked flat, and he knew they were in trouble. And boy, that's exactly what happened as they dropped their first game of the season after 10 straight wins. And we'll see them Tuesday night. You'll see them on a Super 2. Nazareth calls its first time out in the ball game. They lead 38-33 with 4:27 remaining.
Well, while you're talking about Bill Pollock, John, he was on the Dan Mowdy coach's corner and interviewed with him, so he's going to be listening tonight. He informed us that he uses the Super 2 as kind of a scouting tool. They got into the scouting a little bit.
He's a fox.
You can bet he's paying attention tonight and watching what's going on here, because he plays Nazareth on Tuesday night.
I will be there covering that ball game from the beautifully renovated Salisbury High School gymnasium. It hasn't been enlarged, but it's sure been painted over, new floor, everything new. They spend a ton of money over there at Salisbury. They're putting on additions to the building, and boy, Bill gave me a tour when we went out there to do a football game this past summer, or fall rather. Okay, don't miss out Sunday, January 7th, live right here on the Super 2. It's the Rose Bowl Junior Scholarship Bowling Tournament. Join Dan Mowdy and Jim Krupka as the best young bowlers in the Valley roll for college scholarship money. Another Service Electric exclusive Sunday at 1 p.m.
Our score here, 38-33, Nazareth with 4:27 remaining in the game, and it's no surprise that it is a low-scoring game. Nazareth, against all their opponents, two teams have scored 51 points, and one team has scored 50. Everybody else is under 50 points, giving up just 44.7 again.
They have two 53 games back-to-back, defeated Northern Lehigh 53-50 and Caddy 53-50 in overtime. DeBroda goes up baseline. No, rebounded by Zellner of the Spartan. Up to Snyder. Bryan underneath all alone. Church has it. Eric Church with a 7th field goal and 15 point, and it's 38-35 Nazareth.
Outstanding passing of the basketball. It was a great outlet pass and then an excellent pass to a wide open Spartan for the easy 2 points.
You're wondering about the time? 3:35 and running. Nazareth leading by 3. Karras. DeBroda 12 feet out and in. Joe DeBroda, 6th field goal, his 3rd here in the second half. 40-35, the Eagles.
Southern Lehigh overplayed defensively, created a seam. DeBroda took advantage of it.
Good defensive play by Steve Gordon. A bomb, not good, by Brian Snyder. Jump ball, that's the first one we've had tonight. Who gets the arrow? Nazareth. There's Bob Schaefer, second-year head coach. He should have ran for mayor last year.
He would have been elected, I know that.
I told Mayor Matt. All right. We're inside the 3-minute mark now, 2:50 and running. Nazareth leading by 5. Grosnock gets it back out to Gordon. Steve in a perimeter to DeBroda. Karras. Low post. Arndt off the glass. Too hard, too high. Rebound. Follow up by Grosnock. Not good, and a whistle and a foul. First a foul. And that'll be against Leo Ruffing, his second.
Nazareth starting to use its height now inside. First, Arndt posting down low with excellent positioning, just missing the basket, and then DeBroda coming in there for the offensive board, or Grosnock, excuse me, and he drew the personal foul.
That's Grosnock's first trip to the foul line, and he converts. 41-35. 42-35. Nazareth here in the second half has 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 9 here in the second half from the foul line.
Still needs improvement, John. You need to get it down a little better than that. You need that 7 of 9, 8 of 9. When you go to that free throw line in championship games and they're down to 1 or 2 points, every single one is important.
Fadeaway shot by Ruffing, not good. Rebounded by the Eagles. 2:20 and running. That's all that remains in this ball game, and Nazareth leads 42-35. And our thanks to Mr. John Jenkins, the superintendent of schools, Mr. Victor Lesky, the principal, and our old buddy Dale Johnson, the fine athletic director, for all of their help in making this telecast possible. And also to the fine people over Southern Lehigh, where we enjoyed all of those playoff games a year ago. Dr. Michael Green, the superintendent, George Hooper, the principal, and Don Harrickle, the new AD, who replaced Jack Burgraff, who retired.
One shot.
Gordon, first time in the foul line he hits. He was scoreless the first half. He has 3 points here in the second half. He has 4 points here in the second half. And Nazareth has a 9-point lead, 44-35.
Well, if you look at the future for Nazareth, it's certainly very bright. Their JV team moved to 8-1 with their win in the opener here tonight. And Steve Gordon is only a sophomore starting for the varsity, gaining a lot of experience. And that JV team as freshmen went 22-0.
Timeout. You can charge this one to Nazareth. It's their second timeout in the ball game. That comes to 1:52 on the clock. Don't forget, Tuesday night at 9:30, Nazareth at Salisbury in a game which could go a long way in determining a first-half Colonial League champion.
Southern Lehigh will be back in action at home on next Tuesday, January 9th. They will be hosting Bangor. A look at the rest of the Colonial League on Tuesday night finds Bangor at Southern Lehigh, Saucon Valley at Catasauqua, and certainly the headliner in the big game, which we will be covering, Nazareth at Salisbury, and what is now looking will be a battle of unbeatens in the league, and Penn Argyll will be at Palisades.
There's the Nazareth cheerleaders. Our cameramen don't miss a thing, do they?
Well, they were kind of getting coerced over here on the sidelines there to get a little airtime. Coerced.
Oh, boy.
Don't ask me to spell it.
I'm not even going to ask you what it means. All right, 44-35. That's the score here at Nazareth High School. The host team leading the visiting Spartans from Southern Lehigh.
You know, back to that JV story quickly for Nazareth, John. They were 7-0 going into their game. They lost to Northern Lehigh 51-50 in overtime just the other night, and that broke a 29-game unbeaten streak for that unit as freshmen and JV players this year. So certainly the future bright here for basketball for Nazareth.
Gordon inbounds for the Eagles, gets it to DeBroda. Joe has to check off, gets it out to Drosnock. DeBroda baseline, no. Rebound, Derek Karras. And that's Derek's fourth field goal of the night, 3 of the 4 here in this second half, and it's 46-35, the Eagles. Pass on the knee, just a little bit too high for Sachs to control, and Nazareth comes up with the loose ball. 1:25 and running.
I think what we saw here in this fourth quarter was finally that size of Nazareth just took its toll on the shorter Spartans.
Derek Karras, his 5th field goal. 48-35, breaking this wide open in the last minute and a half of the ball game. Shot up and in for 3 points. Eric Church, that's his 8th field goal and his first bullseye or 3-pointer of the night. Now we have a timeout for Southern Lehigh.
Church is capable of hitting that 3-pointer. He had 2 coming into the game. I mentioned his season high was 25 against Catasauqua. He's averaging 10 points a game. He's one of 3 double-figure scorers for Southern Lehigh, along with Zellner at 15 points a game and Snyder at 11 points a game.
Hey, Cats, Super News, weeknights at 6:30 and 9 p.m. right here on the Super 2. This is the 20th year of Super 2 News, the Lehigh Valley's first and longest-running local news program. Super News, weeknights at 6:30 and 9 p.m. only on a Super 2.
Look at East Penn Conference action while we have a chance here. Let's look at the standings over there. Easton Whitehall now on top, undefeated at 5-0. Nobody falls on us here, John. Allen at 4-1. Liberty with that big win against Parkland at 3-2. Central Catholic, Phillipsburg at 2-2. Deerhoff at 2-3, along with Emmaus and Northampton. Bethlehem Catholic, Parkland at 1-4, and Freedom is at 0-5.
All right, we have 1 minute and 1 second. 61 seconds remaining in this ball game, and Nazareth with a 10-point advantage, and they have the ball, and they get the inbounds pass to Steve Gordon, who gets it back to Drosnock. Drosnock to Karras. Karras to DeBroda. Joe looks, we're going to have a problem. The fans are going to start coming out here. We're not going to see anything.
Except the back of these Nazareth football jerseys. 1988 District 11 champs, it says on the back, and they wear it proudly.
Well, Dick Orwine did a heck of a job here. District champ 2 years in a row.
That's right.
Beat Bangor in 88 and beat Northwestern, was it, in 89. 25 seconds remaining, 48-38.
You know, and looking at the likes of Joe Arnout here at 6'3", he's a junior. He's going to be back next year for basketball and football. No wonder Scobo and Stillham Perry had such outstanding football seasons running behind talented people like that. Watch the action right here. You see the personal foul. Now Southern Lehigh in a situation where they have to gamble and go for the steals, committing the personal foul.
You know who I miss here? Bobby Shriver. Head football coach at Easton High School. His son played on last year's basketball team. He's not on a squad this year. But I understand that he has a daughter who's a cheerleader here. Bob usually sits in the first row across the way. And that every time he came up, it gave me a good opportunity to talk naturally football with him.
He had such a tough year with Easton this year, John, with the injuries. Losing Staten for a couple of games kind of hurt his momentum.
Droznak on a free throw line. 4 field goals, 2 out of 3 fouls. Left-handed push, pops it.
Droznak averaging 9 points a game. One of 4 players for Nazareth, right around that 10, 11-point range, with Arndt leading the way at 13. He's the leading assist man with 3 a game, and also the best thief on defense, picking up 3 steals a game.
50-38 as Droznak converts a pair of foul attempts. 10 seconds. Passing traffic. The shot up there by Sachs, not good. Loose ball being batted around. Who has it? That's the basketball game. Nazareth wins it
50-38.
I can't see.
Yeah, it's 38. Okay. For Southern Lehigh and Coach Schaefer, his record now in Colonial League action will drop to 0-5, and his overall record will drop to 1-10. And it has not been a particularly fun campaign, but like I said earlier, do not look for them to run and hide. It is a league where you'll play first half and second half action, so they will have time to maybe make some adjustments and maybe fight back in that second half. However, without a big man inside, it's certainly tough to compete defensively off the boards, and I think we saw a good example of that here tonight. Looking ahead for them again on Tuesday, January 9th, they will be hosting the Slaters of Bangor. For Coach Jim Roth and his troops, 4-0 now in Colonial League action and 8-1 overall, and we talked about it all night. Next Tuesday night will be the big night, and thus far in Colonial League action, with them traveling to take on Bill Pencil's Salisbury crew, and we will be there, and we're certainly looking forward to that game. Elsewhere,
34-29, the Warrior lead cut to 5.
Coach Minnesota.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Johnny Beatty along with Mike Zambelli, all set to bring you Colonial League basketball. Tonight, the Falcons from Salisbury High School entertaining the Spartans from Southern Lehigh. My guest is Bill Paulick, the head coach of the Falcons here at Salisbury High School, their only head basketball coach, who also serves as athletic director. He's in his 27th year. Bill, welcome to Super 2 Sports, and curtain is quickly dropping down on the 1989-90 basketball season. For you, this is the final game of regular season play. You were 8-0 the first half, 7-0 the second half. You have a lock on it. For the rest of the Colonial League, they wind up regular season play Tuesday. Tell us about this year's fine ball club.
Oh, John, this has been really great this year. This is probably the finest ball club we ever had here at Salisbury. We had some other good clubs, but these kids' depth's good, and they run, and they play the game the way it should be played. I'm so proud of these kids, and tonight we want to win real bad tonight because it'll give us an undefeated Colonial League season. And,
this would be your first undefeated season, right? Undefeated. In Colonial League play.
It'll be our first ever. We had an undefeated Lehigh and Northampton League season, but there's only one other team, 1981-82 Nats, has been undefeated. So we'll be the only second team in Colonial League history to go undefeated.
And of course, the East Bend Conference is Whitehall. They went undefeated, 18-0 in regular league play. Bill, you were averaging about 71.9 points a ball game, and that is an awful, awful high percentage.
And even though we're averaging, John, our bench has played so much. Our second team, our last 5 or 6 guys, have played more than any team we ever had. I mean, where do you find a team with your ninth man with 60 points? You know, we have it here. So it's been an exciting year, and we want to keep it going for a long time. I think this club here, disregarding the layoff, I think that we can go somewhere.
All right, now getting away from basketball for a moment, a terrible, terrible thing happened here at Salisbury High School today. Larry Starner, who has been here at the school for about 27 years, has been the official scorer for many, many years for basketball, also served as soccer official and everything else, had a heart attack and passed away today. Bill, tell us about that shock.
John, I just found out about 5:45, just so I put my coat on, and I just can't believe it. Larry's been my scorekeeper for 27 years, and he's going to be sadly missed. It's so sad that I don't know how I can even handle the games tonight, but just for these kids, we're going to dedicate the Colonial League Championship to Larry, and we're going to dedicate the rest of our season to Larry. He's a great man, a great friend. We're going to miss him.
I know it's tough, Bill. Good luck to you. My deepest sympathy. I knew Larry Starner very well. As a matter of fact, I knew him just about all of the 27 years he's been here. He was a party guy, a fun guy. During the games, after the games, before the games, or whatever. I knew his son Joey very well, who was an outstanding football and baseball player at Allen High School. And so to Mrs. Starner and the Starner family, from all of us here at Super 2 Sports, our deepest sympathy. Terrible shock.
Really is, John. I think it really is a blemish on a fantastic year for Salisbury. I think for all of us, it's a lesson. It really puts wins and losses in its proper perspective when something like that happens.
All right, now, getting back on a brighter side of basketball tonight, as Salisbury winds up the season, could be 16-0. They were 8-0 in the first half. The Salisbury girls also doing very well. They won the first half, and they lost one game in the second half to Catasauqua, that by only 1 point. So Donna Kennedy's doing one heck of a job here at Salisbury High School.
Well, yes, both programs are really highly regarded, and Salisbury, the boys, have already won the boys championship, and the girls with an excellent possibility to repeat that. And this boys team really has an opportunity to rewrite the record books here with an undefeated Colonial League season. The only other team to do that was, I believe, the 82-83 Nazareth team. So, and they have an opportunity to post the best percentage for Salisbury and also maybe the most wins if they go far enough in district competition.
You know, the interesting part about it, when it comes to the state playoffs now, 2A boys and 2A girls is the hot one this year. We'll have great representation from the Service Electric Cable area with the Monoy area girls who moved up from 1A to 2A. The Monoy area boys are also super. They dropped down to 1A, but Pollock here in 2A is going to add a lot to it and could go a long, long way.
Oh, no question. It's going to be a very competitive District 11 2A championship, and the three teams that do qualify should be able to do some damage in state competition.
Okay, we'll have the opening tip-off for you in just a moment.
Championship to Mr. Starner, and we would like you all to rise at this time for a moment of silence. And please join in the singing